Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Oda speaking, and welcome back to an ironic episode of Minecraft Review. I say it's ironic because the title of the video in question is a long-awaited reunion, and for some of you here, including the intended guest for today, this is indeed a long-awaited review of a long-awaited reunion. I mean, I know that it only came out like 3 days ago, 4 depending on where you live, Christmas Eve, essentially. It's, yeah, I didn't actually get round to it because, well, I was celebrating at the time. And when it comes to live events, it's one of those things that, honestly, I probably should make, like, a bit more of, like, a back catalogue of pre-recorded videos, just for my own sake, especially for December. But that's a lesson that I have learned that I would tend to apply for next year. Maybe like a mini resolution, if you will. I was also going to say that the irony was that, I put back this review by an hour because Aidan said he was going to be here at 5:30 his time, and I then started it without him because I could not await as long. So again, another extra layer of irony, but that no longer applies because he's right here.
Yes, I had to eat foods. Yeah? Huh?
No, it is for some reason it didn't like close down immediately. I thought you were just like appearing on top of me, like superimposed. I thought they changed the format. That no, they haven't.
Nah, I had to eat foods and I was shoving my face as fast as humanly possible. Unfortunately, I am not Kirby. I wish I was though. I'd love to be Kirby.
I mean, yeah, that is fair. I do suppose that your lack of face cam would work to your advantage in that moment. Not that I can complain because of course I have a long-standing tradition of having snacks. And
I am milk
while
right now
watching Aphmau. Yeah. So you're gonna join in on the Levi drink today, it seems.
I don't know how to do that, and I'm just kind of thirsty right now. Anyways, so I will say, you know how before this episode came out, I was all like, "Wow, Jacob, I don't think this thumbnail is actually gonna happen, and they're just clickbaiting us."
Oh, so you mean when they promoted this particular thumbnail before it was applied to the video, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I use foresight powers. We're actually using predictable powers of Aphmau. The power.
Right. Well, I did suggest in the description that the long-awaited reunion was probably not tied to these two.
Oh,
given.
Oh my God, no! How dare you use your foresight powers?
Yeah, given. Well, I mean, first of all, partly because you name dropped a specific character during the last stream that made me think, okay, someone else is in fact returning, and that is very much a long-awaited reunion. But also because the last episode was called Aphmau's Secret and barely addressed said secret. So, you know, we're very much kind of in the Phoenix Job Heist in 2 loose definition of things, I suppose. So yeah, I was not necessarily swayed by this particular thumbnail for that reason. Forgetting that we talked about it before the video came out, because I don't really, use attention to that kind of thing.
It's a cute thumbnail, but like, I wish
it says something changed to a different version, then reverted back to the original. Oh, well, actually, that's interesting, because I have a plugin that shows me all the different thumbnail changes, so, if I want to look into that, then I have the means to do so. That being said, I'm more interested in the actual video itself, so let's go ahead and crack on with that. Without further ado, on with the review.
Oh, wait, real quick.
A very Minecraft-looking set of sails for the first time, really. I've clocked onto that before, I guess, because, they kind of like blended in more.
They always look Minecraft.
These ones, for some reason, look particularly more. So it reminds me a lot of the getaway ship from Cops and Robbers.
Yeah, also, I will say, Aphmau nowadays will post after 24 hours sort of description of who's in the episode and like the voice actors and stuff.
I rarely ever watch a video of Aphmau's within the first 24 hours.
Well, she's been doing that to avoid spoiler reasons for Mermaid Tales for obvious reasons. Because
that makes sense.
Or like Lawrence would have been spoiled for episode 2, if that happened and stuff,
I can understand that, yes.
But like,
why do you mention that?
It's been over 24 hours. It's been 4 days.
Oh, and it hasn't been updated.
It's still been posted. Will be posted after 24 hours. It's been 4 days, Aphmau. It's been more than 24 hours.
Honestly, I've done that too with Mutant Girls sometimes. As you know, I leave descriptions that are somewhat incomplete if I'm scrambling to get the episode out by release time and then forget to apply them until like way later on. So yeah, I can see that happening, to be honest. All right.
Ooh, humans! Hey,
Oh yeah,
check
this is
this
the
out.
ad for the new merch they have for Mermaid Tales. I forgot it started.
I
with
see.
ad.
Okay, so they're not just like breaking the fourth wall immediately. I mean, okay, I guess it's probably like a smoother way to do it for Aphmau rather than having to endure the cringe of her live action self. In her opinion, not that no, I'm saying that's cringe at all.
Hey, you
But
know,
every time she's looked back on those videos, she's always like, "No, please, not this part." So it's like, well, I mean, you chose to put it in.
listen, when we eventually make Mutant Girl merch, we have to have that. We have to have the like the hey guys, Jacob here.
Well, first of all, that's not my intro. Second of
yeah.
all, I am perfectly fine with doing that
That'd be
because
awesome.
I mean,
That'd be awesome
Yeah.
merch promotion.
yeah, that is true, and I probably will not have the same reaction that Aphmau did to herself, or quite frankly, the reaction that you did when watching back the finale of Fallen Angels season 1.
I'm gonna have to record another one of those messages when I do the finale. It's just something I feel like I want to do, but I'm so cringe. I'm so cringe looking at myself like, no, it's me.
Well, I guess here Aphmau is extending an alternative for you. Let's say
Found some
that
pirates.
tricks you for the first few
That's
seconds.
what humans call it, right? Wait, that's not the booty. Out of the way, you!
No, he's got to turn around for that.
It's called the Mermaid Tales Cozy Collection Sweaters.
I want the Lumi sweater. Look at the Lumi sweater. My mom thinks it's stupid. I think it's adorable.
Honestly, you know, would have been like an amazing troll if they just had like a blank sweater with nothing on it for Looney.
Oh, it's merch. It's real merch. Although I will say,
That'd be funny though. Just like the word Lumi at the bottom, and no one gets it. That's like the collection in its entirety.
I will say though, Jacob, you should totally buy the Zane Crab sweater to go with your Zane Zed jacket.
I will consider it. I haven't bought Aphmau merch in probably like 7 years. So yeah, it's about time I get some new stuff.
Although I will say the one thing in this merch line I don't like is like the first 3 sweaters are adorable, but then you have like the Zane embroidered sweater on like the far end, and it's just like a blue sweater with like a small embroidering of Zane Crab, and I'm like, that's $45. That's $45 on shop. The other ones are like $55, like the other sweaters. But the one at the end is $45, so only $10 less, and it's so underwhelming. It's so underwhelming. It's like a little Zane's embroidered in the corner. It's not even big. It's like a small little embroidering.
Does it have something at the back?
No. I've looked on the website.
Well then, okay.
It's really lame. That's
All
one
right,
thing I will
just
say. It's
checking.
really lame.
All right then, just checking. I'm not expecting shirtless Aaron. That's in an Aphmau video. Always expect shirtless Aaron. You're never that far behind.
It's Aaron. What do you expect?
They're for humans, like you. These 3 sweaters feature me, Lumi, and Zane, and this
I mean-
sweatshirt will keep you looking shiny.
Speaking of Aaron, I'm surprised that he himself is absent from this, although possibly that be some lore reasoning behind that, but who knows.
Our new mermaid gear today.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get more merch, because like we have the necklace that Aphmau wears constantly now. It's been like I'm assuming that's going to be necklace later, like a jewelry.
That
thing.
is true. Yeah. That's
So
been very plot relevant. So
like, and based off this series seeming to be a lot longer than I thought it would be, because I was kind of getting worried that Aphmau would just be like, no, we just need 10 episodes. That's all we need. I was really
yes, that's where I used my foresight powers and kept on telling you not to make that judgment until later on, and here we are.
Name how many Aphmau shows have more, how many supplementary Aphmau shows have more than 10 episodes.
Let's see. Original Mermaid Tales. I don't know if you call Minor Demons supplementary or not. Depends on its performance itself.
I'm not counting that as supplementary. Phoenix Drop Days
then no.
technically, I guess counts.
I mean, it has 11, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was
going by that.
But like there's original Mermaid Tales. There's Phoenix Drop Days, but there's not many other Aphmau shows that go beyond 10 episodes. Ultra Nova, 10 episodes. Meteora Valley, 10 episodes. Even then, that's arguably, Royal Tales.
Realm Royals, thankfully, 10 episodes. As far as I remember.
Royal Tales was 8 episodes, actually, which, that's even less. Like, very few Aphmau shows, are less than 10 episodes. And based off the fact that this was meant to be in the same year as My Street, assumably this show at least came off the vibe of being like, oh yeah, we're gonna make like a short 10 episode show over the course of like 2 to 3 months, and then we're gonna be like My Street.
Yes, that was until you yourself pointed out the pacing of it felt like it was going for something more long running.
Yeah, which I don't know if that was always the intention, but I think that may have become the intention. I don't know, because it is kind of a strange move, especially if you look
it happened rather quickly. The format was kind of established very early on, within like the first, 2, maybe 3 episodes. So by that stage, already the signs were there, and that's why you were worried that they were going to, kind of like pull the rug out, so to speak, and they haven't yet.
Which, I mean, I'm really enjoying this show. I think it's a pretty good show. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of surprised though that they even went for Mermaid Tales, because going back to the Comic-Con announcement of My Street being split into 2 seasons and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, we may make another season of Mermaid Tales. We're thinking about that. And the way they said it and talked about it, they didn't have a logo, they didn't have a title, they didn't have anything announced for it compared to alternate season 2, where they at least had announced that it was happening. They're like, oh, we may do Mermaid Tales. And then Mermaid Tales became the first major thing before even alternate season 2 came out or happened. Which I'm like, that's a strange choice. I like it, but it's a strange choice. Honestly, I'm sorry. They probably did a roleplay like this to get just people get back in the flow of making regular roleplays.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that strange.
Yeah,
the strange thing is continuing alternates somewhere else that it wasn't originally. Condemning it to the same fate as the other role plays they from before, having not got learned from that. I suppose.
But also,
speaking of those, I wonder how many episodes of Dreams of Astoria have again. I think that was 15 or something.
Yeah, that may have 15.
Yeah, so maybe 3 or so.
Well, 14 and a half, because one episode was technically a mini episode, or mini-sode was labeled, so technically it's 14 and a half.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, alright then.
But
remember the Little Dinosaur comic that Aphmau was to promote these sweaters? I was past Aphmau and Lullaby with the sweaters. Oh, I've not seen this.
Yeah, it was posted on Instagram.
Fair enough.
But one thing with this show especially though, and also another reason why I'm surprised they went for this show first, is we had Minor Demon season 2 announced alongside the My Street being seasons being split into 2,
Uh-huh.
And we had a whole animated teaser trailer, and yet the show that didn't have a logo that sounded pretty unsure got first before Minor Demon season 2, which I find funny, but also kind of strange.
Well, you yourself said it's to get people back into the loop of things while they work on the bigger stuff. It makes perfect sense.
Oh no, yeah, but I'm surprised they didn't make that thing Minor Demons based off marketing with the animation beforehand and the announcement.
That does suggest that they have bigger plans for Minor Demons.
I mean, yeah. Back in the day, I would have said, with the original Aphmau channel, or originally when it was on the main channel, it's I'd be like, oh yeah, Minor Demons is eventually going to replace My Street once they decide to officially end it as their new long-running show. But at this point, but with it moving to the second channel and the whole second channel thing, honestly, I think Minor Demons may just get a second season. That's it, which will be kind of sad.
My Street itself has also moved to the second channel, so you never, so you never know.
Well, yeah, My Street's also ending. My Street's also ending with 2 seasons. I know, but I assume Minor Demons will come out in between seasons 7 and 8. Probably. I don't know. I can't predict Aphmau sometimes.
I could understand that. I, on the other hand, predicted that My Street would have 8 seasons back in 2018. Hey.
Aphmau.com. Is that on the web? Like a spider web? Anyway.
Also, there's also being called Aphmau as when Skyrim is pronounced Aphmau's name with Do Not Laugh videos. Yeah, he called it they called it Aphmau at one point. But that was only once, of course. Usually it was just a case of just saying
Oh, God. Cool.
Mao. Alright.
Thanks.
Now the real episode starts.
Yeah, I guess because the sails look smoother, that's why they kind of like... Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, look at that, they're already reunited. Video over. I'm kidding.
Oh no! Oh no! That was a cannon! That was an actual cannon!
Yes.
How did they come to this?
Yeah, see, this is why I said this character should have been Chad. You know, he would have been, like, you know, curious about like, what kind of parabola the cannon, you know, projectile was on in the first
Nah.
place.
Good at school, but everybody made fun of me. But I did my best. I got good grades, and everyone would say, "Oh, Dr. Wade, you suck."
This feels like a throwback to the days, you know, when the voice actors would ad-lib a lot more, comparatively to now.
Aaron! They're still gaining on us! I know, we need to lose weight!
Excuse you, I just ate lunch.
He's from the damn ship! We need to cut cargo!
Of course.
What? I like it.
Mhm.
Oh.
Is there anything I can...
Oh, if
Oh no! Everyone's in mortal peril except me. I better.
No, I think that was the sun. I think that
Okay.
was the sun burning her.
Then she
Because
should have known
we're
about that before emerging.
well, I mean, they started sailing at night, so presumably they've been chased at least for like I don't know an hour or two. So I guess it became bright really quickly.
Okay.
irons, they'll lock me in a damn box with rats.
Help us out
And rats make me
Get
crazy.
inside and grab something to throw
Mhm.
overboard!
Ah! Hang on! I'm helping! I'm helping!
He just walked past 3 barrels. Well, you've got 5 technically, or 7, but you know, like 3 in his particular path.
Well, in the case, I think the ship gotta like the ship is bottom heavy right now, not top heavy.
I'm not sure if Aaron specified, but that would make sense.
Oh, poor chair. Wait, but I guess Zane could use a box now to be more dignified.
Hmm. Okay. I'm vibing with the water effects they're going for here to simulate the movement. Always an obstacle when it comes to making stuff like this. When did they pull that off, actually?
You really think
Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. I gave him some sort of nickname last episode, didn't I? I forgot what it was.
Crap. Was it like Vegeta or something? It was like
I'm not sure.
help you?
I think it was something along the lines because like he's like I will destroy Aaron because he's my rival because he can rival me because pirate murdered a whole thing allegedly or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Sir,
Would it be funny if I
they
was
seem
a
to be
shaft?
throwing their
Maybe.
cargo overboard.
I can see that. They're trying to lighten the ship. Pick
Ah, you know what? I'd say there's... He's not a fan of expository dialogue. I appreciate that. There's been too much of that in this
up
series.
speed. Ignore everything unless it's a person.
Well,
You
that
know-
feels like a loophole for Zane to infiltrate.
You know, though, I just realized something. You know why I think the Aphmau fantasy series, such as like Diaries, the Mermaid Tales Mermaid Tales, and even aspects of season 6 have potential issues of exposition.
Why, go on,
Because
yeah.
when Aphmau writes her fantasy stuff, she has a lot more exposition when she just instead of slice of life stuff, she doesn't write as much exposition. So whenever she's touching fantasy, she has to write a lot more exposition. At least that's how she knows to actually explain what's going on.
I see.
Because like it seems to be pretty common with all the fantasy stuff or anything that mildly touches fantasy, going to more exact fantastical elements.
I suppose so. With the
Detail.
possible exception of Diaries, because that one was so lore heavy, but also had been a let's play for most of its existence, so people knew the lore already. Though at least the big details. I had to go back and, watch that again to confirm, but I'm guessing if there was an exception, it would be that. Also, yeah, it was something else. It wasn't like Captain Stone, because I kept on getting his name wrong. That's why I called him something else. But yeah, Captain Stone is his actual name.
Get us in range for the new cannon. And fire.
Oh no, don't hit him with Celestial Cannon.
Not quite. That one has a bigger range.
That has a whole island worth of range.
This box.
She can't hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
She can't hear you, but thank you for scooting it.
I mean, she could. Yeah, she can hear. She can hear the box at least. Again, talk about pointless dialogue. They could have just had Lumi push the box, and it would have had the exact same effect.
That one's from Lawrence. We need that one.
How does he know the difference?
Aphmau!
Because Lawrence, when they bought all the explosives and stuff from him, or all the stuff from him, he's like, "Oh, I could give you some explosives or something," you know.
I mean, that's fine. It does say TNT on it, granted, but also, could Aaron see that from that distance? That's what I'm wondering. Because otherwise, I mean, the crate does look a little bit shinier, I guess. It's made of mahogany. Mahogany.
Explodes?
Oh God.
Eek, fire.
Ooh, I have an idea.
Goggles.
Okay. No, wait a second. Okay, we gotta rewind that animation. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, so it looks like he's taking his goggles off based on the trajectory of his hand, right?
Maybe it was around his neck, and he's like kind of, maybe it was around his
And
neck.
so he lifted it above his head, and they zoomed in to emphasize that rather than just jump cutting to when he already had them on.
Well, that's where they are playing.
Or rewinding the footage so that he would have his hand up first and then lowering it down to his head.
I have an idea. No, a breakthrough, an invention.
And then Edwin had a horrible, horrible idea. Awful idea, whatever the quote was. I mean, they are ignoring the cargo, so they could get it close enough if they needed it to. Not that they would then be able to detonate it, of course, but,
Sir, we're within range. Do you want us to arm the Seabreaker cannon?
Seabreaker? Maybe I was right about the Realm Breaker. I forgot they said Seabreaker. Maybe I was right about that. Oh God.
Use it to punch through their hull.
We said Celestial
Just
Cannon,
keep
but yeah.
it away from the hell. That's where Aaron is, and I want to keep him alive.
Oh wait, there's one thing I forgot to say in the episode. When we come back to Aaron, I'll say it. But there's something about Aaron that there's a continuity error from last episode that just doesn't get addressed.
I think you addressed it, also referring to the thumbnail, but I will, I'll be sure to cycle back to that.
Don't be suspicious. 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 Don't be suspicious. Oh.
Okay, there is something about, like, the walk cycles that they have programmed that is always uncanny to me. Like, there was the running from last episode, and now it's this. Like, what is this movement? Oh, off he goes.
Your captain really thought that.
I'm sorry, did he... Okay, so he landed at from that velocity, and he didn't just, like, topple it over in the water?
It's very buoyant.
Did you really?
Yeah. Too buoyant. I know the water's completely still right now, but nothing is this still in water.
To slip away from me. It's your own damn fault for following that man.
Honestly, he does kind of give Vegeta vibes based on, like, the speeches alone, but
Now you die with him.
Oh, they can rig it from afar. Okay.
Well, that was his
Well, stand
invention.
corrected on that.
And they murdered a man. Maybe.
All right. I mean, I've obviously said before that Catfish is the masters of visuals. This one definitely felt very cube worldish by comparison to their other explosions and the water effects they've done in the past. Possibly again, they're saving their good stuff for later.
Did you see that guy jump down on top of it? Yeah, that wasn't a normal officer.
It worked! worked! Oh my stars, it actually worked! Do you have any idea how...
Okay, Aaron! Wait,
probable
we're
that
looking at
was?
Aaron! Hey, Aaron, where'd you get your jacket? I thought you left it on some random port in the village that you were just at. Where'd you get your jacket, Aaron? Jeez.
Yes. Yes,
Why
as
would
as
you, like, I don't
as
like...
it appears that, speaking of merch and stuff, we continue the long tradition of Aaron and jackets being paired extremely poorly.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna talk about Fallen Angels here. So in Fallen Angels, Adam takes off his jacket for a scene in episode 3 near the end, and he's not wearing it. But that's just in the cabin. I didn't have Adam be like, yes, I'm gonna put my jacket on the other side of town in a random store on the floor for no reason, and I'm just not gonna, and then next episode I'm gonna be wearing it eventually, but ignore that. No, he still had it. I'm just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna have a character take off an article of clothing and put it down somewhere, and they don't retrieve it, why was that a thing? I don't know. I'm just like, I like the whole stealth mechanic, or I like the fact that he thought, hey, maybe my jacket makes me more recognizable. Let's take it off to look more generic. That's a good character writing decision. It's just his jacket, he shouldn't have it. And
Either more generic or just not identical to his wanted poster.
And it's also the fact that this isn't even the first time in the show we've had his jacket be taken off him and him not having access to where it was taken off him. And yet he gets it back. At the end of episode 5, he was wearing his wedding attire that was magically or given to him by
And they escaped that island before he was able to go back and get his clothes.
Yeah.
Not that he would have been inclined to do so.
And then the next episode he opens up with him wearing the red jacket, which was episode 6. But now, like, I don't know. I find it dumb. It's like, do not have him take off his jacket if you're gonna have him retrieve it. Like, does he just have like 20 of these things lying around? Like, oh yes.
According to just the designers, that is the probable solution. Similarly to Shaggy and Zombie Island having a whole like closet full of just the same green shirts.
Hey, but at least that works a little bit better, because at least a solid green t-shirt's a lot easier to come by than a assumably custom made red jacket with like flourishes.
Why would you assume it's custom made? I'll say in this time period, making like any clothes on a mass produced level like that would be extremely difficult. But I don't think it's custom necessarily. It might have been a jacket that he happened to that they happened to catch his eye at some point, and
so he bought 3 of them, 3 to 5 of them.
Well, he is a pirate. He might not have bought them per se, but yes, ultimately that may have been what happened. Either that, or just the jacket and he are so connected now that they've attuned to each other, and it's summoned. I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that.
It's just dumb. I mean, maybe if they gave him like a backpack.
Yeah. Also, not the first time that we've seen a stack of 64 clothes in an Aphmau video, by the way. In episode 1 of My Street, that also there's several like stacks of 64 clothes that Aphmau brings into our room. Obviously, they'd rather forget about that fact, but there it is.
What happened? Is everyone okay?
We're fine! That little gift should stall them for a second.
To stall them for a second? No, you blew up like part of the main ship that is like leading this fleet. That's gonna be more than a second.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here and quit.
Unless the ship is like reinforced or something, but I highly doubt it.
Okay. So before we watch this scene, I'm gonna say I like this scene, but there's one continuity thing in this scene which kind of frustrates me. I'm like, oh god.
All right.
This scene is really nice. Also, this scene's what the thumbnail's based off of. This is the quote-unquote thumbnail scene.
Oh, we're nowhere close to the next town.
Did you not notice that as you were approaching the island?
Oh, shit. Maybe you'll get there first, and Caspian might even... Oh, shit.
Hey, Aaron?
We need to talk. You first. What happened?
Zane and I, we saw another siren.
Wait, you don't mean Xena?
Oh, excuse me, sir. How do you know her name? Aphmau doesn't know. No one should know her name. Okay, I hate that he knows Xena's name because no one here knows Xena should know her name because her name wasn't said in the show before this point. The only reason I know her name was because prior context from the server videos. Technically, alternate season 2 also came out, but like she made her appearance in the show before that. But like. And also the description technically of the episode. But like the fact that Aaron knows her name is like, Aaron, you shouldn't know her name. Aphmau doesn't know her name. She didn't say her name in the scene. Like, I think this is just like a detail that Aphmau forgot. I'm going to compare it to something in the Mutant Girl or almost in the Mutant Girl. So when we were so this was before I co-wrote. This part of the scene was already written before I started co-writing. But it was the Felix reveal scene. And
I don't remember writing that prior to you joining.
Or you had a version of it. Well, you had a version of it partially written before I joined.
I thought I had the details worked out, but yeah, okay, all right then.
For the audition, or like it was for like what was the audition of Felix, and you wrote parts of that for that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Anyways, so in that original scene, when or at least originally when we were going through those episodes during that writing process, and we ran into Felix for the first time. Raina went, Felix? It's like, and like I looked at that, I was like, Jacob, she didn't meet Felix because in episode 1, season 2, her and Julius weren't there when Felix dropped off Agatha, so she shouldn't know that's Felix. She didn't know that's what Felix looks like. She haven't met him yet. It's their first time meeting.
And this is why multiple drafts of a script do exist, because there's a very high chance that that if I was writing that for the audition, it was before the season got rolling, which means I hadn't worked out the details of who met who at which given times at that stage. So that's very likely the reason why that happened.
Yeah, but that was like one of the that was one of the things.
Or almost happened.
Like reading, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that does not work. that dialogue needs to be slightly altered for obvious reasons. It's like, that needs.
Although, I'll say at least Felix introduced himself to several other people by that stage, unlike Xena in this instance. But yeah, either way, that would have been, that would have been an issue. So maybe this is partly why there's so much like exposition dialogue. It's as much for Jess herself to remind us of what's going on, rather than only just for the audience. Maybe that's what it's all about.
But that's one of the issues I have with this scene. I love this scene, but this scene, I just hate the fact that it's like they both know who Xena is. They know the names. Like you didn't say her name in the scene, and like the episode 4, you didn't actually hear her name. I don't know.
This one felt different. Meaner.
You're absolutely positive it wasn't Xena? Like, for sure?
I mean, I would imagine if she was close enough to, to tell the difference,
No,
but...
I met this one before.
Although, granted, this one could actually change her form to a certain extent, so, then it becomes a subject of speculation, but Aaron doesn't know that's the case yet, so he shouldn't assume that Aphmau is face blind, let's say.
The day we arrived on Hangman's Rest, she was there. She seemed nice, but why would she do any of this?
Oh, did she hurt
Is
you?
there, man?
Did she?
I will also say the timing of this is probably not necessarily the best. If, like, Aaron is saying time is of the essence, and, that they're in the wrong place, they probably need to get going. So, this is once again another example of the character stopping for dialogue in the wrong moment in universe. By all means, have this conversation, but potentially while you are still moving, if you are pressed for time, which they are in this case.
Well, in this case, I mean, I kind of know what actually is happening here. So essentially, Aaron seems to want to either get to the next town or get to somewhere semi-safe before the Navy gets there.
Yes.
And kind of rest for a moment to like kind of get their bearings together and how they need to get supplies, get their bearings, and decide what their next course of action is. So
essentially what it was trying to do in the last town, yes.
Yeah, so but basically they're pulled into this cove, hoping they'll be close enough to the town. They're not. but they do
Which means they need to leave.
Yeah, but the Navy's gonna make it to the next town, so they have to find a new plan. They can't just go to the next town immediately from now here because the Navy's still gonna beat them there, or at least
I guess that. I guess they could go into like the plan that Maestri Aaron had, and then just like retrace their steps if he's convinced that the Navy is going to go to the town and not check the direction that the people they were actively chasing went in, which is a whole other can of worms. Now you mention it.
No, but Zane, Edwin, she hurt them. They couldn't breathe.
They dropped. Choking, right?
Yes. Wait, how did you know that?
I think it
Now you question his knowledge.
hit the whole port. Everyone. The exact same way.
Is there
what
anyone
happened at
out there?
Hangman's
Because it's
Rest.
getting harder
Same
and harder to breathe.
Did it happen to you too?
Don't worry about me. I'm just glad you didn't get hurt.
That's the thing. She didn't hurt me because she needed me.
What?
She said everyone else could die, but not me. I don't know why.
Don't worry.
Plot
Don't
armor.
let anyone hurt you.
Well, she's saying that she's not going to be hurt. That's the point of this, Aaron.
I would die before I let anyone lay a finger on you.
Yes, you would, because you are a target and she is not.
Yeah.
Again, I get what he's trying to say, but like after just hearing what he did, it doesn't come across the same way. Like, it's what I was saying before, like they're saying the right things, but not necessarily in the right moment or framing.
Okay, so that was our thumbnail moment. Okay. I get it. The thumbnails to bait people in, but Aphmau and Aaron in the scene weren't even close enough. Like physically, there's still a decent amount of space between them. Like in a thumbnail,
I will say
like,
they could have approached them, or like had Aaron like take her hands in his to reassure her, or something to that effect. They could have done that.
But it like, I mean, like, okay, the blushing is like whatever. I guess we don't need to have the blushing, but like, come on, this is more of a sentimental moment between the characters, less of a romantic one where the thumbnail's framing it as like oh my god, romantic. Ooh, it's more sentimental than romantic at the moment.
Mm.
You know. Oh, and
now
he
it's
died.
comedic. Also, how heavy is Zane? Jeez.
Excuse me. What? Don't
Continue.
Tell me you two were kissing. No!
See,
They weren't-
if they'd been closer, like we mentioned earlier, that would have made more sense. Because I'm pretty sure that Zane knows how.
They weren't even that close. They were.
Being the scholar that Zane is, of course, he would know the intricacies of human kissing. So yeah, definitely would understand the lack of proximity here. Wait a minute. Scene interrupting Edwin. Alright.
Dang, Aphmau not happening in the show.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but anyway.
Oh no, it's definitely happening. That's just definitely happening in the show.
Yes, I'm not delusional.
Where are we?
We're actually on Tri Island, a fascinating landmass really formed by...
No, we're on the same island. Where on the island are we?
If I had a nickel every time our characters were being hunted on an island, I would have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that happened twice.
Yeah, it's possibly the disadvantage of having a long-running series of this nature.
Holes.
They almost look like prints of some kind,
Oh,
like
man.
animal tracks.
All right,
It's
everyone,
possible.
That's it. Break's over. Back on the ship.
What?
Yeah, see, now Zane gets it.
You're not the captain. Stop barking orders.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like that in a straight no-go school where the Alpha Sisters made the mouths really long instead of put. Oh, I forgot about that.
Wait, what?
I forgot about that detail. Yeah, so you know how, like, universally speaking, the gacha community has agreed for years and years that the way to portray kissing is to have like the character's mouth
Oh
disappear,
yeah, I forgot
implying they're
about
connected.
that.
Yeah. Well, the method that the Alpha Sisters chose was to custom edit their lips stretching over so they'd be able to make contact.
Oh yeah.
Dare I suggest moving their heads closer might have been more effective, but anyway.
Sorry, Captain. We need to go
Well, excuse me, Captain.
Oh god.
now. Get on the ship. No. Wait.
I mean, he was so convinced that he knew this wasn't the right place to stay before, but okay.
What? What do you...
We're not going back on. We're leaving the ship here for a few days.
A few days? Okay. Now that, I will say, is a bit of a strange strategy. Retracing his steps, finding a different path, I would be behind.
You gotta let the heat die down, man. You gotta let the heat die down.
I guess, alright. Let the heat die down, you know, have some chill vibes, and I guess technically have a beach episode. Why not?
Leaving the ship? A few days? Ah, it's too late.
What is...
Shit.
Hey.
So, I was saying about animal tracks.
Yeah.
I'm not always off base with Aphmau Theories.
Gotta be kidding me!
That's the kind of, like, dialogue line that only works in a jump cut. Because you have to imagine that he's been there suspended for some time and just said that randomly.
Crab spears, I think. Are those spears? Are they guns? No, they're spears.
Yeah, you would wonder, like, I mean, Ghosty already pointed out that crabs, they make sword slashing noises. You would think that they wouldn't need to evolve. They wouldn't evolve with the needs to have spears in the first place. It's basically saying that crabs have natural armor anyway. Maybe they'd be able to, like, pierce their own armor or something.
I mean, the spears could be good for range, for crabs at least. Like, crabs don't have that much range on them. So the spears would give them extra range.
I also like how the spears aren't moving because the idle, like, sprite-like animation for the crabs is different to the suspended outlines of the spears. They make it more difficult for themselves, quite frankly.
Okay, yep, cool, great. This is normal. Love this for me.
I'm gonna walk the
Okay.
plank.
Okay. I didn't think I would have to explain this, but normally when pirates have someone walk the plank, they usually have their limbs bound so they can't swim. And they're also not doing it to a creature that's been known to breathe underwater.
Oh, no, it'll make a lot more sense, don't worry.
Okay, thank goodness.
Hey, you stupid crabs, let him go!
A ritualized intimidation display. Fascinating.
What? Okay.
That's one way of describing it, I guess.
Here comes the crabs. Here comes the crabs.
Okay, it's not even close to the water. Okay, so you're just gonna fall and, you know, probably break something. Okay.
Come on, guys. We can talk about this.
Long live the scholar.
It's a
It's not very
prank.
slowly.
Sort of.
Right.
Wait, that's it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that could have been quicksand, actually, considering that pit that's there. I actually think that they're communicating through, like, through, like, some, like, variation of Morse code, like, whatever their equivalent would be.
Hey, I wonder who these two crabs are.
You've gotta be kidding me.
I feel like...
Sue! Oh my gosh, look at you! You're filthy!
Tiana!
Why is
Wonderful.
my baby on a plank? Who thought this was acceptable?
Zane.
Wasn't his idea. What do you think he forced them to force him? What does that make sense?
Hi, Dad.
Whoa.
Well, to be fair, it's Garte. Garte is very mean to Zane for some reason. I don't know why. And just in general. In every show, he's always mean to Zane. Maybe
from
not
what
in Diaries, but I don't know. Like we haven't really seen.
Well, I mean, in Diaries, he was very much shafted as well because he could have been Lord of Ocasif if Gareth decided to go and live his life. But I guess the idea of like the firstborn taking over was so important to Garte. Which reminds me that Zane would be the firstborn in this instance, and unless Vlad is a thing, the only born. So I don't know if that same hatred reason would apply.
Gotta be kidding me! Tell them to let us go!
Oh, and you brought friends! You never told us you had any!
I guess there was never a chance to really, yeah.
Why are your friends tied up like fish?
Ask the crabs. Ask them.
Put the weapons down. No one else gets planked.
Yeah, put the weapons down. We don't want to animate that anymore.
And where is your brother? Little P! If you're
there we go.
I swear!
That was Vlad.
Please
although I feel like Vlad should be like a brown crab. Because like he looks like a smaller version of Ziana without the eyebrows and crown.
Well, remember the parentage of Vlad in Diaries particularly, and the implied parentage in My Street, him looking more like Ziana actually makes a lot more sense.
I mean, yeah, maybe a green crab? Okay, I would take a green crab too.
Why? Okay, yeah, sure.
I don't know, these crabs look all very similar besides their color of like the crab. All I'm saying is it'd be, I feel like Vlad crab should at least be colored slightly differently so he's like a semi-distinct looking crab. You know?
I personally, by the way, I was thinking like in terms of, I said Morse code because I'm thinking like, from like the actual like, from the snipping sound effects. It reminds me like how there are some languages out there in the world that are like, the whistling or clicking to some degree. That's what this reminds me of, basically. Like that idea.
It wouldn't be crab sign language because sign language is where you're making hand motions.
Yes, as well. That's why I went with the, auditory equivalents. Yeah. Yes. The best thing to ever happen in MT. Yeah, well, actually, you know what? The only way to make this better would be if they actually have a celebration for him coming back and they play the crab rave music.
I don't know if Aphmau do that for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe it's like an Ep.8 TV blooper if they bring those back.
But also, one thing about this video that confuses me, or throws things into more question, is who is Gareth's parents? Like, it's clearly not Ziana and Garte because they're crabs.
That's not the worst question to pose. Who is it? Like it's like asking if the different version of Hyria in My Street, whether it's the same original one, if she has still survived that long or something. Just named another daughter Lucinda. Ultimately speaking, there's...
It's probably a different one, just based off her brief interaction with Aphmau, I would say. Like, there's no, reverence towards Aphmau really knowing her much during that one interaction. And I feel like she'd at least play a little bit coy with her, being like, oh, you remind me of someone I used to know, or something. Play a bit coy with it.
Potentially, but I mean, Gareth's parents could be anyone in this universe. It doesn't,
I know, but it's just normally with these multiple universes things, they don't normally differentiate the parentage. Besides, technically,
they gave Aaron a different last name in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
and from what we saw of his I've always saw his mum. Did she look like Rachel? Because I don't remember.
No, she was different because Rachel has brown hair. His mom in this universe had black hair and different hairstyle and different VA. So it was not Rachel.
Yeah. So clearly they're playing a bit. They're playing a little bit fast and loose with some of that. Not only because even if you're questioning who Gareth's parents were, you'd have to question who Zane's parents were before this episode for all this time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just because Vlad's a crab, Zane's a crab, Ziana's a crab, Garte's a crab. everyone in the Mermaid clan is a crab, except for Garth, who's a pirate human.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Garth's the one odd one out here. Like everyone else here is a crab.
Yeah. But by the way, this is what Aidan was referring to yesterday when he said like there was something to do with you know, like Gareth like raised a bunch of questions. So yeah. That's where like the reunion aspect, I suppose.
Yeah,
comes
this
in
is
with
the long-awaited reunion that the episode's talking about. Not the thumbnail will tell you that, but that's what technically they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, just thinking we should make a Zane Crab raid for the countdown. Well, I mean, if you want songs involving Zane Crab, I've got you covered.
Oh yeah.
It's not what I think it is. Service savages. No manners, no decorum, just
Didn't you appear from the surface? Do you not count also? Okay.
noise and teeth.
You calling us savage? Let us go, you overgrown sea monster!
Not helping his
Silence
case, really.
I mean, I'm just saying, if I was tied up, I probably would be like, yelling to him, be like, "What the heck are you doing?"
You know, to advance Aphmau's mothers in this universe, I'll say that could have also changed. Yeah, that is true. That could have also changed. Although, again, you know, I like to hope that was just gonna mean that she's dead. So
yeah,
you know.
no, Aphmau's biological parents in this universe died. So, I mean, it probably was Sylvana and Zach. I would have. They just died before they get divorced. They died before they get the mermaid divorce, or before Sylvana realized that Zach was cheating on her.
Yeah, you know something. This is like a weird Lord of the Rings detail, actually. But they specifically cover like the reason that Frodo lived with Bilbo is because his parents both like had like a boating accident and drowned in a river, and the gossip is that they drowned each other.
Oh,
that's not. Yeah, that's obviously, you know, rumors spread by like the, you know, the public and the shy, because that's kind of what they're like. But hey, you never know. Maybe they were going through a bit of a rough patch as well.
I don't want to fight. We just.
And never emerge from it, literally.
If they must make sounds, let it be the sound of shinies.
It is the sound of shinies. There we go. New parody idea. Lock it in.
Oh God.
Oh. How on earth did he do that? Okay, never mind.
Mom! Okay, hi. So, quick context.
Oh, your little friends are doing their best, Susu. Sit down.
Ah, yes, they're doing their best to, you know, not panic and lose their minds. Fantastic, Ziana.
Hanging pinatas.
Oh God! Do not beat them.
Familiar with the concept of a pinata?
Yes.
That raises so many questions.
You know, this is giving Occulta mentioning stuff randomly. It's like, should that exist in the world? It's like, yeah, probably not, but oh well. Like, I mentioned it, so I guess it's canon.
Yeah.
Choices. Later.
Maybe Garth is a human adopted by crabs. Hey, you know what? Actually, I'd love to see that spin-off. It's basically like the Jungle Book, but more like the Island Book. With Garth as Mowgli.
Bring them to the cave.
Oh.
And dead. Oh no, they're fine. My effing legs, Zane. Yeah, quite honestly, I was more guilty of this because you know it was never questioned. But yeah, Jason Mraz, never forget.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I guess he's just gonna stay there.
Okay, cool. Great.
Don't you want to follow and see what's going on?
All the island. secrets of all the oceans, of all the cursed, stupid...
He needs to get out.
They had to walk in a mine.
Why are they even here? They
Oh, you're so close to making a Casablanca
hate
reference, okay.
travel. They hate fun. They hate me having fun.
I guess Lumi is fine in this level of light, okay.
Sun's getting low.
Yeah, yeah, you know, the light levels in Minecraft aren't as intense anymore, so mobs can survive without burning. Yeah, alright then.
Oh, it's you. You know you can't just appear like that.
I'm sorry. I had to wait until the sun was low. Where did they take Aphmau and Aaron?
Of course. Well, I'm so glad that I arbitrarily decided to wait so I could inform you with this. Allow me to explain! Very smooth. Very smooth.
Cave, my parents.
This was I'm gonna count this as another example of characters stopping to have a conversation when they really should be taking action in this precise moment. That's 2 in 1 episode.
Cave, because apparently my life is a joke now.
Are they going to...
Oh, Zane.
They'll be fine. My dad just likes to yell a lot. He won't actually hurt them. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
Families can be loud and heavy.
Yes, they can be loud and heavy. We've established your backstory. Can we please rescue people?
Like, you have to be a certain version of yourself just to survive being around them.
That sounds
How
very
about
unhealthy.
the version that takes action when required?
What? Are you suddenly an expert on parents?
My mother had plans for me.
Yeah,
No! We saw that episode! Move!
And my sister, she tried to protect me from them. Sometimes family loves you.
okay.
We saw that episode. Move!
Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna say I actually don't mind Zane stopping here just because I feel like if this was a situation where these were total strangers doing this, he would, have no reason to think there's a chance that they'll be 100% safe. Obviously he doesn't know 100% chance, but he knows there's at least a decent chance, knowing his parents, that they probably wouldn't hurt them.
And he's willing to take that risk so he can, have a bit of a chat sesh, which he could have done, like, on the way to rescuing them.
I mean, the cave isn't that far away, and there's a path to the cave. Like, there's like a literal path to the cave.
Which means they probably arrived already and are possibly doing something, depending on how much of a chance he's willing to take. Hi, Ghosty.
Okay, am I the only one who feels like this entire segment so far has been a stupid waste of time when the plot feels like it has more important things to be focusing on?
I mean, it all depends because having something be like delayed in this way, especially like on a hero's quest, is a staple of, but like Greek mythology particularly. But like that doesn't feel necessarily like the worst thing in the world.
It doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world, but here it kind of does feel a little bad because we're retreading stuff that's already been established. Yeah, sure.
Okay, no, this particular scene, yeah, I thought you meant like the whole like setup of the entire episode. This scene and the one that came before it with like where they name drop Xena when they should have known her name, like those ones felt very out of place because that was the characters detracting from the urgency. If the plot happens to derail them, have to deal with the situation, that's another thing entirely. But yeah, that's why
I don't enjoy the setup, but I do enjoy the setup. The setup is fun, but what I don't enjoy is slowing down the plot for the sake of what? Crabs? Okay.
I mean, well, assumably, I assume the crabs are like as the narrative goes on, the crabs are going to either in this episode, not this episode, maybe in like a next episode, going to introduce something that's going to be relevant for the rest of the show. Or it's going to even just be used as like a little character set piece for Zane, because I do actually really appreciate getting more Zane backstory, because Zane hasn't had much backstory, or at least compared to what we got for characters like Aaron so far and Aphmau so far.
Like, I appreciate it too. As I already established, I don't hate the setup. I like that we're getting Zane backstory as well, but I don't like that we've slowed down the plot to tediously explain backstory that has already been established.
Oh yeah, no,
That's the part that I have qualms with.
Lumi here expositioning about a thing. Although, for what I can tell, what they're trying to do between Lumi and Zane here is I think they're going for a larger idea of how Zane and Lumi contrast their ideas of family and their experiences with family. And I think that's what Aphmau is trying to do writing-wise with Lumi and Zane in this case. Because, and their various experiences between family.
I understand, but slowing down the plot to a standstill doesn't exactly bode, if you will.
Yeah, it's like the Aphmau and Aaron scene from before. They're saying all the right things, but not at the right moment to do so. That's what feels off. Like if this conversation happened, while they were on their way, having shifted away from the military, having distracted them successfully, that's one thing, because that part was also somewhat urgent. The Aphmau and Aaron thing. In the case of Zane and Lumi, they could have done this, for example, on the path. I mean, I said it's not a long way to the cave. They could have made the path longer in the story to account for that. So that would have also worked. Or they could have saved this for a later point after we've seen the different versions of their families. What they kind of went through. Similarly to, I guess, to use an example from us, I suppose, we've had episodes dedicated to different people in Lou's family dynamic, and we also had the scene where we met Orchid's family, and we've also seen Scooby and Scrappy. All of those things happen, and everyone has acknowledged the different dynamics that are there, particularly from Lou's side of things, because his is significantly worse than the other two. So we've covered that, but without having to slow down the plot to a glacial pace. I think, at least. I mean, that's not for me to decide ultimately. But
we kind of with D&D scenes, they kind of just go on and on with our character bits and us talking. To be fair,
they do kind of go on and on, but I think we usually tend to time them so that nothing super urgent is happening in the moment, or we are in the middle of travel.
Yeah, Lou has never slowed down this story to be like, hey, Orchid, I know we're facing eternal death in combat right now, but do you want to hear about my familial trauma?
Well,
in fact, in season 1, he specifically waited until the end of episodes to talk about these things in when they were in private, after the plot had already concluded.
Yeah, but
maybe not the best time for a narrative like this, but it was a conscious choice.
The thing like this is they've been kidnapped by crabs. That's just inherently a more comedic situation than being kidnapped by the Navy or
yes, I know, but
freaky ghost lady or
why aren't they?
No, I'm just bringing this up. You talk about urgency as if it's quote unquote urgent, but it's not as urgent as any other situation they have been in, because it's really, or at least with the case of the crabs, it's not that they're not that intimidating. They're just regular crabs. They just kind of got the jump on Aaron and the crew. And... I don't
know. They're crabs that can communicate through rhythmic snipping. Have evolved to craft spears with no opposable thumbs, might I add.
They also tied up the 3 main characters whilst now having no opposable thumbs.
They have a monarchy. Yeah, they're clearly more of a threat than we're giving them credit for. It's similar to the Sea Buns in season 1, but just amped up significantly because there weren't that many of them.
I don't know, because again, I don't mind this scene here because we had our whole mini introductory scene of the crabs and stuff, and again, and we kind of just have our little we have the other characters that move to the setting. Now just have a more intimate moment between 2 characters who share a bond before we move back on to more of the plot, because this episode itself, or at least the way it's structured, we don't really have another moment for this conversation to actually happen between them.
Then why not have it in a different episode?
Because it's kind of relevant for this episode, and it's relevant for this episode and a later interaction between the characters, and B, based off how Aphmau has been doing her arcs, or at least the most recent arcs. I assume next episode is going to end the crab storyline. It's going to be this episode, and next episode is going to finish off the crab storyline, essentially. And then we're going to go to a new location.
All right, that doesn't mean that the stuff doesn't carry over. That clearly they are more than willing to bring up Lumi's backstory after that's all wrapped up. They could easily do the same with Zane later on.
But like,
even when they think.
And also, Aaron and Aphmau's conversation only lasted like 40 seconds, 50 seconds. It really didn't last that long in universe. So them sitting down for half a second to discuss something, again, I don't really see that big of a deal. Now, if they were to go on like a full-on 10-minute little speech where everybody argues about what to do in a celestial canon while the world's ending, yeah, no, but it's like they escaped them.
That will forever remain the worst example of this.
Yeah, no, but like they literally just got out of danger. They kind of managed to pull to like a little side cove away from everything. They're not near a village. They kind of need to come up with a plan. And they just kind of talk because they just now have a moment to actually talk to each other about what's been going on, or at least share information, because you kind of need to share information in this situation, because without sharing information, you may put yourself in more danger.
Well, they had moments on the ship. If the military weren't right behind them as they pulled into the cove, it implies they lost them sometime beforehand, which would have been the time to bring it up.
They lost them with the explosion. I mean, I guess they could have had it on the ship, but again,
yes,
I don't know. Them parking isn't that bad, and to have that brief conversation. And again, it
wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that Aaron had specifically pressed he verbally confirmed the urgency of the situation and how he's gonna have to change the plan, and seemed to be still like in very much panicking about the whole scenario. It didn't seem like the moment at that point. Again, I'm not saying that these scenes are necessarily a bad concept. You yourself have pointed out the familial differences here. It's just where they're placed. That's the issue.
But I mean, with this story, I'm just saying there is literally no place for them. And again, the characters aren't in actual danger, or at least severe danger at the moment. I'm just going to specify they're not in severe danger. They're not. Or at least for the time being, they're not in severe danger.
Not that we know of.
They are fine. I am specifying this because
you're specifying this because you've watched ahead and you already know the plot for the episode.
Well, yeah, yes. But I also have to specify this because putting this here in a situation where they're not in severe danger, if they were to have this kind of conversation in like the arc on the island, I would be like, okay, yeah, they're in severe danger. They're gonna die at midnight if they don't leave the island. Aaron's mind controlled. Yeah, this is a severe situation. This is not this situation. That's not the situation. This isn't Aaron being hunted by the military.
Aidan, you're yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm kind of raising my tone a little bit, but sorry.
We were all kind of speaking over each other, so that was probably why.
I'm just trying to bring this up to be like. I'm just saying, from a situational standpoint, this is not any of those situations, and it's a less severe situation. And I need you guys to believe me that it's a less severe situation.
I know.
Well, we will. Okay, well, we can come back to that, and we'll see if we believe you or not after we've seen what's going on.
The last scene will kind of prove that. Anyways.
Yeah, that tracks.
From what I saw, your family seems nice. Your mom was very affectionate.
Kind of weird. She knows about pinatas.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know how they really are.
I'll follow you.
Well, neglectful dad, because, all Gartes are weirdly neglectful to Zane and kind of weirdly harsh on Zane.
I mean, she didn't talk about Garte. She said his mum, so, she hasn't observed anything from him yet.
Good. Let me deal with this on my own.
I wonder what it must be like to phase under the ground and just walk. Like, can you actually hear above, what's above you? Like, how do you actually know where you're going when you're phasing underground like that?
I'm not sure if she's, walking necessarily, because...
Floating?
Yeah.
Don't introduce yourself by crawling out on the floor in front of my mother.
I won't.
I like how Aidan's loud typing sounds like Zane's crab walking.
Oh, it does? Damn.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh, and she dropped it.
Is that the realm breaker?
Oh, this is the show for
it's the soul. It's the soul something. Yeah.
Soul Echo.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let me put it in my, I guess, void pouch that I have. I don't know.
Okay,
Well,
so
let me put it in my bag of holding right quick.
Which is also my crustacean armor, I guess. I don't know.
But in this show, the Soul Echo is what's allowing Aphmau to become human, essentially. She in the first so far she's used it to get a little mole on her face and like human legs and like this nice like purple dress. Then she changed to a wedding dress, and then she changed into.
What I'm describing now is the multiple human disguises and the outfits that came with them, rather than specifically.
And now a pirate.
All you needed to explain is, oh, this is the thing that makes the mermaid into a not mermaid.
Yes.
Yes.
Like the concise explanation would have been nice.
That's why I do the summaries.
Hey, I like detail though. Oh, and
you do.
Speaking of Mermaid, now she's a mermaid.
Where did the bag go?
It vanished along with the human legs.
Water blessed.
Tail.
Hello, Megami33. What's up?
Yeah. It's interesting that they call mermaids water blessed, considering that obviously Zane was outlined to be a scholar in season 1, so it does stand to reason that he's an outlier among his kind, and the fact that they clearly have been I said and call the other civilizations savages without investigating further, they've detached themselves. They have the whole other way of doing things. That's an interesting detail, at least.
Hi.
The sea has sent us a goddess!
Mermaid.
So luckily she could breathe air because of the whole events of season 1. Because if she couldn't breathe air, she would be so screwed right now. She would be suffocating.
She would also be just covered in scales.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, I guess we've gone from potential just an idea of a detached society to the classic and very outdated trope of tribal society confuses outsider for a god. Glad we've returned to this trope.
A sea blessed one.
Trope.
In our halls.
Yeah, same.
I knew the tides were whispering! Everyone, be calm, be gentle, oh my gosh, look at her
Be more chill.
Just throwing gold at her.
The loud one! He speaks against our divinity!
How can you tell?
Yeah, if anything, it's speaking against you, surely.
Everyone calm down! That's just Aphmau. She's a mermaid. I know land crabs don't normally see them, but mermaids are.
Yep, see, there you go.
They're like a thing. You speak nonsense.
Put her in the water.
He calls the goddess just.
No, I'm not. I'm saying.
Hey, well, you better hope that goddess is just. That's all I'm saying.
She's not a goddess.
She's an unjust goddess.
She's literally my friend. She's from the ocean. She has a tail. It's normal where she's from.
He has been corrupted by the surface lies.
Oh my.
Okay, I guess they're saying surface, because they're, technically underground. That's why they don't call themselves that. Alright, fair enough, then.
Land crabs. Of course you've never seen. I didn't mean it like that.
Zuzu!
Wow, he did a racism? Question mark? Is that a racism? I don't know. Is that a speciesism?
Maybe. At least they're not going with the whole classic thing of, like, I guess only land crabs can call land crabs land crabs. I guess they don't, have that double standard. That's thankful. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You know how things things like sometimes like different slurs people will say, like, yes, well, I am something that's underneath, insert slur here, so I can say it. This is not doing that trope.
Like, I understand reclaiming a slur to make it not a slur in the context of the social group you're a part of. Yeah, and I'm glad they're not doing that either, because I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
He's trying to fight her with mouth
There's a reason I don't say the N-word.
Feral.
Mouth noises.
Oh,
How'd you get
sweetheart.
cages?
It's okay.
How did they get spears?
The noisy one
How'd they forge crowns? Do they have a metallurgy department?
can't hurt you.
They probably just they just found like a doll on the ocean and being like, oh, some little girl left her like king and queen doll. Snatch. These are my.
I mean, given what they think of the land savages, I'm not sure they would be so keen to plunder from them. If that's the case. Although now I say that, I guess they have to get their shinies from somewhere, so maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe. By the way, Zane, when are you going to use the realm breaker on you? I want to see you become human. I think it'd be so fun if you use the realm breaker on yourself. I want to see a human Zane.
That's even implying that it would work the same way for a crab. Maybe he would just turn into a different creature. Maybe he'd just become a hippocampus or something.
Oh, that'd be cool. He'd become a sea bunny.
Bring the
The worst punishment for him.
sea blood.
No, wait. This is Zane we're talking about. He's got to turn into a cat.
One to the Tide Court. Now, Zane, with me.
The Tide Court sounds like the witch trials where they they try to drown you, and if you survive, you're a witch. So they kill you anyway.
And someone untie her. No, wait, don't untie her yet. Just make it nicer. Put some shinies.
Honestly, if they did untie her, as far as they're concerned, she can't go anywhere. We know that she can move quite easily now, and without having to splinter herself when scraping on.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
But aside from that detail, I mean, yeah, they've
In a bowl, not her mouth. And you. We are having words, young man.
I think he's saying he would like to have words, but he's currently unable to. I will just say this, at the moment, I'm not seeing the lack of danger. But I will continue anyway.
Door.
Okay. How did they move that? What is...
Yeah.
Yeah, some of this world building with the crabs is a little bit confusing.
Some of it?
Yeah, well, a lot of it, but okay. My personal headcanon is, since they're talking crabs, I assume they're magical in some way, and they are like My Little Pony unicorn horning it, but and it's invisible, maybe?
But that's the thing, that's headcanon, not actual canon, so at actual canon, we don't know what's going on, and what kind of black magic these crabs are composed of.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a question I do have in My Little Pony, how do they operate doors, but anyway.
Their hooves. They just kind of pushed them in.
Anyway.
They don't have knobs normally, for obvious reasons. Well, some places have knobs, like Canterlot, but that's because unicorns are opening the doors with the magic.
That feels very societally disproportionate, but I'll get there eventually.
Oh no, yeah, My Little Pony kind of has under things of classes.
Look, if KW's fan series is anything to go by, I'm fully expecting that eventually.
Ta-da! Your room.
I can breathe right now. That's what the rack has been making. I mean, I think that
they
they're
can breathe.
I think their non-existent noses are uncovered right now. I just say non-existent because I assume we're going by the same My Street logic where they're all just Voldemorts, but anyway.
Right. That.
Also, does Zane even have a mouth? Where were they putting the thing?
Apparently he does.
Do crabs
Or
have
at least
mouths? I don't know where crabs... I guess crabs have mouths, maybe?
They do. Crabs in general do have mouths. These models don't, but the crabs themselves, yeah, they have. Yeah, they do.
You actually brought my stuff?
Of course! It's not every day a crab studies these, spell slabs.
Like,
Oh, so they are acknowledging a scholar background. Finally.
like
That's
crab-
nice. You know what? That's getting my Levi drink, because nothing else is going to impress me in this episode, probably to the same level.
Like, crabs do have mouths, but the mouths are typically tiny and are hidden by two very small appendages that are there for the purpose of bringing food closer to the mouth so the crab can actually eat it.
Yeah.
Oh. I know nothing about crab biology.
Books, Mom.
Yes,
I know a lot
that's
about
what I said.
crabs.
Book slabs.
Okay. Why are you guys
That might be an actual block in Minecraft, you know, in a mod of some
on
kind.
this island? We don't live here.
Humans.
You mean...
Yes. It's no secret we as the Land Crab clan are dying. Humans have
It's no secret to you, a fellow land crab who got in trouble for saying that exact same thing.
been hunting us down.
What? Why don't we just...
Also, I'm kind of as an as you know situation. If it's no secret to him, you shouldn't need to explain it to him.
Talk to them! Show them we're capable of speech! There's not many crabs like us around anymore!
Zuzu, that only works on people who want to listen.
Yeah, some
That is
people
al-
just wanna, like, silence you.
Yeah, that is also true. Like that, like the power of speech would also, you know, not even talking of science, but also, you know, if something is, it's the classic people feel what they don't understand situation, and then you might end up being targeted more if they perceive as more of a threat if you're able to, you know, speak the same language.
But
Yeah.
what's left? The last land
Yeah, see, Ghost Kitty knew where I was going with this. Yeah, there it is.
crab clan that can speak.
No. There were tons of us! What happened?
Not everyone survives, Zane. We
Okay, this part is the part that he wouldn't know, so I'm okay with this
didn't
bit.
think we'd find you alive.
But you are! My little crab cake!
Again, they are familiar with the concept of cake. Did they bake cakes? This society pushes boulders, forges spears, makes piñatas, bakes cakes. The human speech is the least weird thing they can do.
Now settle in. We're going to question your friends.
What?
I mean, did you think that they were just gonna keep them as a you give like the deluxe treatment? Why would they tie them up if that were the case? Come on.
We'll decide if they're safe. Don't worry.
Wait! Mom! Dad! No!
Oh no, only you are capable of moving the polyphemus-style boulder.
Great.
Oh no, if only I belonged to a species that was known for being able to dig. Drat!
Just great.
Yeah, like, the floor is sand. You could just kind of dig under the door.
I know there's a whole rule in Minecraft, but you can break that just once, you know?
I heard a lot of yelling. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
No, you could have actually appeared and listened to the whole thing. They wouldn't have seen you, but whatever.
No, the crabs would have seen her. Crabs
Oh,
see
I thought-
ghosts.
I thought it was an inherently Zane ability. Not
No.
Okay.
That's why she said. I wouldn't want to introduce myself to your mother facing through the floor. Or, well, he said earlier in the episode.
Would she
No.
know that? Would she know that crabs can see her if Zane's the first one she interacted with to this degree?
Probably it's I mean, it may actually. It actually kind of substantiates my idea that the crabs are magical because if they can see a ghost, so.
No. I'm saying would Lumi have known about that?
I mean, I probably would guess if I was Lumi that they could see me. I wouldn't want to chance it.
Would I have known about that? Like, this is my second episode watching the Mermaid Tales, The Black Lullaby, and I'm just now hearing this information, and the more you describe it to me, the less sense it makes.
Yeah, so up until this point, Zane is the only one who's been able to see Lumi.
Like,
whether or not that was because he was affected by a magical item that he found, as you know, he met her after that.
Yeah.
But it seemed like there was a connection with him specifically. Since we've never met anyone else in his species, we don't know if that is a genetic ability that everyone in this society has, or if it is specific to him for some destiny reason. And since we don't know, neither does Lumi.
And neither does the audience.
I only pop in if you scream.
We're just assuming it's a thing that crabs can see ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you only have one shot, if you do appear in front of them as a ghost, and they can see you, kind of already blew your shot. There's no unopening that bottle the moment you can't really test that in a safe way, essentially, with this situation. So it's like better to at least assume and stay out of sight until you're necessary and need to save them.
Like, I know. I just wish I had at least a modicum of more information that these crabs are apparently also holy creatures that can see beyond the veil.
Yeah.
Hey, look! What's Liv up to right now? They make pinatas, bake cakes, craft spears. Have harmonicky, and now they can see ghosts. Yep, all of that.
Magical crabs. I mean, Zane can speak about lungs, so you know. Wait, well,
my other biggest question is why does Zane have human wizard robes even though he is a crustacean manifestation?
I mean, my theory is that you stole it from like a shipwreck or like from humans when they weren't looking. That's my theory.
I think it's probably it's probably so similarly to how like Ariel was a hoarder in Digital Mermaids. That's the kind of thing with Zane, because he's also, again, his scholar background, suggests that he would want to at least get these things
and like
just
study
for his
them
own
and look at
curiosity.
them to see what they are made out of and what they look like.
Yeah.
Crab would have.
Scram. Please.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Facing to the floor right after a Zane. I don't know.
I will say, given what we know about the crabs, if Lumi actually did appear in front of them anyway, as a floating entity, they might think that she is an even more powerful goddess. You never know.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't call her Sea Blessed. They'd call her something else like, I don't know, what they call her,
Windborn. Wind brought.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I was thinking, I don't know. They may actually think of her as a ghost because if they have a concept of deities, they have a concept of afterlife. Therefore, they would have a concept of spirits or like sort of ghost soul thing. They would have that kind of concept, right?
But would they think that same concept applies to humanoids? That's a leap in logic.
Or would they have an idea of a disembodied soul? They could be very much be reincarnation people.
Possibly. Crab religion. I want to learn with the crab religion.
We want to know like everything we can about these crabs now.
Aphmau, we need information about these crabs. At this point, we have so many questions and no answers.
But
the tragedy is that we've already got more of a sense of them than you have Mifwa, but then that's not a whole other idea.
But like, also, I don't know if I don't know if I want Aphmau to try to give me more information, because every time Aphmau tries to give information in this kind of show, she ends up just making it like really long-winded exposition, like really long. It's like,
and that's different to the rest of the dialogue. How?
I would like.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, I would like a long-winded exposition over nothing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I will take what crumbs I can at this point.
Yeah. The crab religion anthem is the crab rave. Fantastic.
Finest water in all of Tide Court.
Thank you. I
And only water in all of time.
really needed this.
That's why I'm not in it currently. What was the staging on that? Anyway, okay.
I mean, she could get in it if she wants, you know.
Well, yeah, but she said I needed this, and she's only got like a tip of a tail, you know. That's like me saying like, yes, you know, I really could do with a swim and then dip my toes in a pool and do nothing else.
No, he's my friend, not food.
So, goddesses
They finally made that reference.
don't eat people.
No.
Definitely not.
I see. I will go yell at the chef.
Something tells me that these crabs know more about Aphmau than Aphmau.
Yeah, also, we just established this. They had to warn the chef to not serve the other people to Aphmau. So that whole idea of them not being in danger, I don't know.
I don't know, Aidan. I'm gonna give you a bombastic side eye with that one.
The meaning of this?
Last scene shows how
Bombastic
they're.
TV.
Last scene, they're really not in danger. They're really not.
I've never met one. Have you?
We spent forever tying him up.
That's not my problem.
Also, it's not like
I guess he now finally figured out how to, you know, spit out the bag.
Also,
He's just pushing with your tongue.
Also, it's also not like they were just serving him to Aphmau. It's not like Aphmau was actually going to eat him, or like they cut him or did anything.
Well,
like,
they said, they said
him.
warn the chef, which implies some level of preparation. Remember, they can bake cakes. They probably figured out the rest of cooking as well.
I don't think they could bake cakes. I think they just referenced crab cakes for some reason. Although, I kind of imagine why Sylvana's dialogue's all weird. Ziana's dialogue's all weird. Is because you're trying to take a character who was essentially primarily shown in modern day to be, like, reference heavy and, like, she has a bunch of, like, sayings and, like, just phrases she just kind of says, and she's a little bit off-kilter.
Like she's
into the context of a fantasy world where a lot of that stuff shouldn't exist or be known to a crab in a fantasy world.
They adapted Nana-chan.
Yeah, but Nana-chan
They didn't feel the need.
Nana-chan isn't much like Kawaii-chan, though. Like, Nana-chan
Exactly.
Yeah, but they try to keep all the Ziana aspects, but the problem with keeping Ziana's aspects is her primary character traits in My Street do not work in a fantasy world where she's a fantasy creature.
Yeah, so the ultimate conclusion they should have gone more than Nana-chan route with Ziana, if only for the sake of our own.
Keeping the characters and world consistent with what's portrayed on screen. Because other than that, we have a lot of questions about these crabs that are never going to get answered. But aside from that, our friend here either one, swear out that bag, or two, it was like a piece of chewing gum and that bag just exploded. Because it's not anywhere on screen.
I think he
spat it into the
water nearby.
Yeah.
By the gods! And I didn't even believe in gods! But by the gods! You're a mermaid.
Yeah. I probably should have said something sooner.
Her tail is clipping through the slab that she
Yeah. I think actually there's a plot that's coming towards us. We did see the tail dipped into the water before. Although she has now shuffled over, so that might actually not be the case anymore.
No, this is
Oh no, you can see a little bit still going.
incredible! I've never seen
I do like how was like shuffles on the floor, like incredible.
one.
I mean,
why doesn't he just shuffle his way into the water so Aphmau can untie him? Maybe.
Won't he drown if she doesn't get in the water immediately? I don't know if I would risk that. I wouldn't risk that. I wouldn't risk the possibility of drowning.
Okay, it's
gonna be interesting. Say coming from the creator of Orchid, but you got to run that plan through someone first if you're gonna do that.
Like, also, Aidan, you're misunderstanding this man's lung capacity. It isn't like mine. He can probably actually hold his breath for a significant time.
Potentially, but how significant? If Aphmau just like stares there, be like, what are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing in the water? Are you taking a swim? I mean, I thought humans need oxygen to survive. Is this like a science thing or like? Like,
you're trying to spit. Oh, you're trying to speak Mermish to me. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Maid, do you have any idea what people would pay to confirm this?
People.
Institutions, patrons, very serious, scientific people.
Which is,
Aw.
honestly, which I will say is the reason behind, why they chose to hide themselves earlier. I can I can see from their logic, and like this conversation here, because they're already in this predicament and they can't escape. Again, don't mind they're having this moment here because it does establish a lot and it feels appropriate.
Also, Ghost Kitty has a good point here. Aren't crab cakes made out of crabs? Feels
yes.
more like it would be an insult to crabs than a compliment.
I don't know. People call others baby cakes sometimes, so that has other implications too.
Cakes made out of babies.
Exactly.
God,
yeah.
That's horrifying.
The sea. The sea.
Which seas? There are
What?
How do you breathe above the water?
Aphmau doesn't know what sea she's
I mean,
in.
here's the question. Would they even have named the seas the same thing? That's one thing that he shouldn't have assumed.
I think I started when I had the scar, and then.
What is your anatomy like?
Oh, they noticed the scar as well. Symbolic leave, I drink.
Whoa, slow down. A lady just doesn't share her anatomy with.
No, those are the kind of things I talk about on the stream. I was like, what are the mermaid anatomy?
Yes, we did spend a considerable amount of Wild the Mermaid Tales reviews discussing the mechanics of mermaid reproduction or lack thereof. So yes, I can confirm that we have indeed grossed the subject.
Listen, it's probably
quite early on.
It's probably eggs, but I don't know. I mean, it can't.
Can we not talk about this? Can we not? I don't want to discuss.
We already did. That's the thing. I'm saying that we already had that conversation.
Probably eggs.
The conclusion that
unlike with this series, we don't have to rehash our own dialogue. We can just send people back to the other videos.
but what I'm gathering here is that Edwin is actually Aidan in disguise.
What do you mean?
It's not a subtle alias.
Yeah, you guys got me. I'm secretly Edwin. Aphmau asked me to voice act in the show, and I had this whole pseudonym thing.
No, Aidan.
I know that's a joke.
I mean, the character has be similar in mannerisms to you specifically. That was the joke. You ruined the joke.
I'm happy to talk, but you're just kind of intense.
Oh, I apologize. I often forget myself in the pursuit of knowledge and survival.
It's okay. I can imagine making up big words takes a lot of time.
What she's sitting on?
Yeah, making up big words. Excuse you, Aphmau.
Quiet, you man.
Oh, I guess they already had another. Yeah, which that also raises other questions. Does that mean that this clan tribe of crabs has regional differences? They had immigration at one point from a region which is presumably this world's equivalent of France.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, I honestly think just giving this character this voice is just to give it somewhat of a unique identity compared to other crabs, so it's less of a generic random person voicing it, and it's a slightly more identifiable voice or accent attributed to this character to make them stand out more.
Ah, yes, the Hetalia dub to voice acting. The Hetalia dub approach to voice acting.
But the Hetalia dub doesn't work because they are literally representing other countries.
Yeah.
Physically, they are. So. And this one, we're not even sure if they exist.
Do not speak to the goddess.
I mean, the goddess was clearly enjoying the conversation, so you're interrupting that now. You're gonna get reincarnated as a.
The goddess.
You're becoming a sea body next life.
The goddess is angry. You will now be sent to crab hell for your sins.
Should I have untied him?
Yeah, probably.
Potentially.
Yeah.
No, Zane can deal with whatever that was.
Yes, because Zane is clearly not occupied with anything else right now. I know just know he's in his room, but still.
He got grounded. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Well, that worked. I like how the ropes don't fall; they just disappear, implying they're being ripped apart.
Okay, in the case of the ropes, they're on the Minecraft skin. They're part of the HD Minecraft.
Yes, Aidan, we know. But what we're complaining about is that the ropes don't have any like object permanence.
They could have made something with chills and bits, or just had like something discarded to the side, or whatever. Like if there's an existing model of some kind. Yeah.
I don't think there's a model.
Then chills and bits, I would have said. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So let me get this straight. He struggled to rip apart some rope, but is able to punch through metal.
No,
yes.
I did he punch through metal, or did he like push the cage open?
No, he punched the metal.
Implying that the cage was that easy to open, they didn't. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, crabs had to open the cage theoretically.
Like Aidan,
I thought they might have like lifted it and put it on him, but I guess that might have been confirmed. Honestly,
maybe I don't know. We didn't see him getting in the cage.
I do have something to say to this point. There was no there was no door to the cage to begin with, and also the connotations of him breaking out are in the fractured, kind of disjointed looking pieces of metal around him, implying that yes, he did break out of the cage somehow.
Yeah, he is, however, I will say, not the first person to have done this, because Aphmau in episode 2 of season 1 of Mermaid Tales was able to rip apart a bunch of bars in a cage, rescue a bunch of sea buns, and then for some reason put the bars back together so impeccably that she herself could not escape, which set the rest of the plot in motion.
And then she got her old scales and the whole thing. That was a very weird move.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it on, crabs!
Oh, he became plankton.
Bring it on! Oh god.
The alarm! What now?
Bring it on, crabs!
Also, for there to be an alarm, like there is an alarm, but it couldn't have been an automatic alarm. So I just imagine that there's a crab and a bell.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a manual bell, yeah.
My theory is they got the bell from like a shipwreck or something, and like just a bell from an old ship or something. They just took it and just like put it on like a little thing and just like shake it whenever they needed to.
Yes, that I'm comfortable with them not having invented.
No, those idiots!
Probably on the same kind of ship that Zane got all his books and stuff. This is part of why I said he's not really in danger if he's actually fighting them. Because look at them. Oh.
I will say, if they ganged up on him, they probably will be able to do a bit more to him. But they are purposely, not well, I say purposely. They haven't worked out organized combat yet, I suppose.
Well, they haven't worked out organized combat, but also I'd like to disagree with you. There was implied danger up till this point. We're just
implied danger. It's not real danger. They're fine.
Yeah. So I guess going back to the reason we brought that up earlier was around the scene with Zane and whether or not the situation was urgent enough to not allow that to suggest that he shouldn't be stopping at that moment, and if Zane knew about how about the lack of I guess how easy to defeat they were, how lack of combat experience they actually had, then maybe you could say, okay, well he probably was relatively confident that if they did something that this would happen. However, up until now, we weren't able to draw that conclusion. Now looking back at it, since we've seen this, I mean, there is a chance that Zane would have known about it, but then again, he did see his parents move a boulder right before his eyes. So I mean, as far as he's concerned, they're pretty strong.
Honestly, you know what? I probably didn't said the boulder method. Maybe have Zane's parents push wooden barrels in front of the cave. Maybe that would have been better than the barrel, or not the boulder.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know, because Zane had to be kind of semi-trapped in that room for whatever reason, so we have to have some, so maybe not the boulder, but definitely something had to be in that way, so he couldn't just go out and free Aaron and leave or run away in that moment.
Halt, human!
Hey, stop, you boob!
Now it's gonna turn ultimate. I'm kidding.
Where is Aphmau?
You will not aim your dirty gaze at the sea-blessed one.
The what?
This human
The thing that they called her before. Oh, I guess he was screaming. Maybe he wasn't listening.
is
Also,
savage.
the crab, one of the crabs that Aaron was fighting just stood up on its own and walked away.
Then he waddled away, waddle.
Yeah, I think he hadn't finished. Getting rid of that one.
Uncivilized. Loud.
Oh no, okay, it's up again. So yeah, maybe he wasn't like trying super hard, or because again they're crustaceans, they have natural armor. They probably were just more taken aback than anything else.
Yeah, but here's a factoid for you. Crabs, when flipped on their backs, can't actually get up without assistance from another crab.
I have seen this many times before in Galicia.
So, how? What? Why?
Are you kidding me?
Silence!
Zane may not be taking the situation as seriously, but Aaron's taking the situation very seriously with the crabs. He will make some crab soup with them.
Or crab cakes.
That's because I feel like Aaron is at his wit's end with this crabby business.
Yeah.
Human will be answered.
See, I can do the dad joke
combat.
thing too.
Mm-hmm.
One champion of the surface against one champion of the land clan.
Ah, so Aphmau has rewatched the Mario Brothers movie recently, I see.
Okay, cool. So, like, a guard, a warrior, literally anyone.
It's an Agni Kai, which means you must compete against your own father.
My champion is my son.
Yep, classic. Obviously.
An all-or-nothing trial. Only one leaves the arena.
This is a terrible idea. One of them could easily play dead, and because they both have the same goal anyway.
Oh, you picked him.
Dad.
And I find it upsetting how the smallest of the crab clan was apparently picked to do the job.
I can see, like from a royal perspective, like putting faith in your own son as a demonstration of abilities. But also, this is the same son that has been actively either like working against you or feels that has demonstrated like his attachment to these people in the first place. So it could be a lesson to be like, okay, now you're gonna have to fight him as a punishment as well. But it's doubly ineffective because there's been no conversion as of yet from Zane, so the punishment would not sink in at this stage.
Peel, I have rights.
It may not be like a punishment thing. It may just be like a pride thing, being like, I may not like my son, but my son could kick your butt because our genes are just great.
And speaking of pride,
finally.
Nope, I want to leave.
Finally, I mean, I know you've been beefing for this episode, but seriously.
A battle to the death.
Wait, this is the arena? That's not.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is the crab burrito. Anyways, end of the episode, guys.
Good grief, that was awful.
Okay, as far as the I will say I don't think Aaron's actually willing to kill Zane. I just think he's going to like hit him down and kind of humiliate him.
Of course, Aaron isn't willing to kill Zane. But it's just the thing of this feeling like the weakest episode in a very strong series. Like, I get it.
I remember there was one episode that I didn't that I also felt was quite weak. I forget which one it was now. Actually,
like
was it one of Xena? But like the one where like the whole you have no bad memories.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was that one. Actually,
I mean, I quite like that episode, but but the no bad memories thing that Aphmau allegedly has,
which was also part one of a presumed two-parter arc that they're going through.
It was part 3. It was part 3.
Oh, okay.
No, that was only 3-part arc. I'm calling them because episode 1, episode 2, Hangman's Rest. Episode 3 through 5 was the Misty Island. Episode
so 6, it was very near. It was almost episode 6, which is usually where stuff peters off for me. But
episode 6 and 7, we had the whole was the whole the Azure Bay / Aaron being wanted thing plus Caspian reveal, and then we have this and presumably episode 9 being the crab arc. Potentially there's a third episode, but based off how the majority's arcs are, it's probably 2 episodes. And we're probably gonna deal with this for 2 episodes straight, but
I can't help but to agree, but this episode still feels weak. Not in concept, but in execution.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have loved a kind of low stakes episode in between the high stakes kind of and episodes we've been getting, but this just doesn't deliver the ticket. Yeah. And I know, Aidan, that you have a lot of things to say to me about this observation. But...
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because you fought me on the crab thing before. Don't you remember?
Well, the crab. But yeah, but with that Aaron scene that's all I was saying is being they're not actually in danger, and Zane should know that they shouldn't be in physical danger as much. Not to mention Zane got his butt handed to Aaron in the island arc earlier in the season when Aaron was mind controlled. So Zane should know that they're really not in physical danger at the moment. And I think the only reason they got tied up was because they got jumped out of nowhere without even paying attention properly.
Aidan, I can't help but to disagree with you, and sorry I can't speak very loud to make my point very clear because I am sick. But I'd like to humbly disagree that there was an implication of danger until the danger had passed, which makes me not agree with you. There was an implication that they were going to be cooked and served to Aphmau at some point. If they kept
at least
believing
Edwin.
that,
yeah,
at least Edwin. If they kept believing that Aphmau was a low-key perfect goddess,
and if Aphmau didn't use that to her advantage to order them not to do it, which he didn't.
Okay, no, but also I don't know where the whole cooking thing came from. I know Jacob said something about baking a cake or said that.
Well, no, I said it was implied that they'd worked that out, or that because if they have a chef, that implies some level of cooking preparation in the first place. That's what the role of a chef would be.
There was keep in mind there was no cooking. There was no cooking stated. Keep in mind because they just put Edwin in front of him being your meal is served, essentially, and just being your meal's already prepared right now. Just tied up a human, eat it.
Then what did the chef do? Because he was already in that state to begin with.
Apparently tying him up more. I don't know. That was a little bit weird. Maybe they put salt on him. Maybe he was salted, being we salted a human for you.
Which implies they have a concept of spices, which raises further questions. But yeah, again.
I don't know. I mean, that was a bit confusing, but there was no implication of cooking, or at least no stated implication of cooking.
Aside from a chef, and that being the only known thing that chefs do.
Well, yeah, but no fire or anything. I don't know. It's one of those things where I really agree that they were actually there was any implication that they were cooking. They weren't gonna just give Edwin to Aphmau to eat for reasons. That's all we know for sure. With that one scene.
Yeah, but that still doesn't dissolve the implication of danger. Because the other implication is, hey, let's keep these land dwellers locked up in these prison cells so they're not a danger to us. And you want to know what happens when people aren't fed after a while?
Especially if their mouths are covered anyway, and I'm sure they plan to keep them alive.
They starve. The implication of danger was there up until when Aaron broke out of a prison with metal bars somehow, but had trouble with the rope for some reason.
Even with the whole starving thing, they were captured 10 minutes ago. It wasn't like they were captured for days. They were captured 10 minutes ago, so I feel bringing up the whole implication of starving doesn't really work as much on the basis that they weren't even there for very long. It's when Aphmau was captured by Sea Buns in season 1. That's being the implication that the Sea Buns, even if they can't eat her through licking her, they're just going to keep her there and starve her to death. No, not really. That's not really.
The Sea Buns had no intention of keeping her. The licking thing had worked. They would have absolutely done it.
Yeah.
In this case, though, I guess it would depend on how long they plan to keep them there for. I know that Garte said that
they wanted to talk to them, see if they were a threat, but then Aaron broke out
like to see that they were
that
safe.
could happen.
Yes.
Aaron broke out before that could happen, therefore starvation really wasn't on the table. Now execution could have been on the table if Aaron was unable to break out, and for whatever reason Aaron was still a quote-unquote threat, which based off his words.
Why didn't they start talking to them then? They could have very easily. Well, first of all, I'm surprised they should have switched around Aaron and Edwin, because if he was the more combative one, they should have had him served him to Aphmau, and then kept Edwin, who was already being more silent throughout that time and was more willing to, would have been more willing to converse with them. Another execution they should have done differently. But even if they did try and do that, they just kept him in the cage for a while, and he was just there on his own, breaking through his ropes. They didn't seem to have much of a sense of what to do at the time. So they were planning to keep him there, or they were trying to work out how to best I don't know, maybe safely remove the bag of shinies from him or something.
I mean, actually, that would have been I don't know, that wouldn't have been too big of an issue as long as he's tied up, because then he wouldn't be able to grab them. Granted, I guess he could theoretically grab a crab in between his legs and squeeze it, maybe?
Or make a break and try to bite one of them.
I don't think that would work very well for his teeth, especially at this time period, but
I mean, I don't know. As a vegetarian, I'm not sure how crustaceans are prepared as seafood, but I do know that
I think they're cooked. I think crabs are boiled. Boiled. I don't eat crabs, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're usually boiled or removed from their shells and baked.
Which does suggest that there's a way to remove them from their shells with relative ease, I suppose. Maybe not if they're fighting back. But still.
They're probably... I think they're dead when they're being removed from their shells. I think they're dead at that point.
No, not all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crabs,
you can do that.
Crabs do molt their shells to replace them with larger shells. Did you forget there was a SpongeBob episode all about this?
Oh, there sure was, yes.
Good grief, he's naked.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Again, I disagree with the fact that Zane was the one not freaking out as much. Yeah, he was concerned, but just he knew they would be probably fine. There's a really high chance that they would be fine. And I feel like if Zane got to a point where they're like, no, we're executing him, he would have asked Lumi, because Lumi can phase people through the ground as well.
He was in that scene. He was conversing with Lumi, so he wouldn't be able to do that. He wouldn't have known if there was any imminent danger immediately, because he was actively having a moment with the person who would have helped him out.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's one of those things where it's if they need to get out of there for whatever reason, they also theoretically have Lumi, who could at least get Aaron out of there, and maybe Aaron could then fight the crabs, as we saw.
That would have actually been a better solution, because Lumi just kind of says, that it's just going to give Zane space, which kind of leaves her free reign to do whatever. She could have very easily, phased Aaron out of the cage, which would have solved the issue of the rope the metal bars.
No, that would have fixed it. Have Aaron break free of the rope. I mean, I would still have Aaron break free of the rope. You could rip the rope.
Have Aaron
I can see. That I can rationalize.
Have Aaron break free of the rope, but instead of Aaron fighting the crabs, Ghost Girl comes out of the ground and she's like, hey, I'm gonna take you somewhere safe. And then takes Aaron to Zane, and then Zane says, my family is a very non-threat.
I don't know.
The only issue I would have seen with that is that Aaron seems to be very, very angry towards Zane specifically.
For no reason.
Yes, it does seem for no reason. The change happened after the conversation with Aphmau about what happened, about what they all went through, and the name drop of Xena, of course. But it was only when the suggestion came for them to leave the island, which Aaron already understood was not where they were supposed to be, so leaving would have made sense to him anyway. But he, for some reason, box him down immediately and just goes, just goes no, we're staying here for a few days. You're not the captain. I am the captain. Look at me. I am the captain. That kind of thing.
Ghosty died.
I don't know what happened there. Maybe the reference.
Anyways, but I don't necessarily think that's what was happening in that scene. I think Aaron, after landing and thinking about it for a second to himself, he made the decision he's going to stay, and then Zane all of a sudden being like, "Everybody, let's leave right now." You know, all of a sudden being like, I just kind of decided to stay.
I mean, even if he made the decision to stay in that moment based on what Aphmau told him, why would he have been so aggressive towards Zane, who was clearly panicking about something and about to explain it? It seems very out of character for him to not at least, like, you know, hear him out.
I can see that, but, like, I don't know.
And that continues throughout the course because, I mean, he doesn't get a moment with Zane after that, you know, until, I guess, the fight, because of course he's lashing out at, you know, the rest of the land crabs.
But like also I can also see maybe what's going on with Aaron right now is after finding out Aaron's wanted by fair enough, Ghosty. But I can also see after finding out Aphmau was wanted by what's her name? I forget her name. Well, her name hasn't been said in the show yet. It's in the description. Anyways, but after finding out that Aphmau is like wanted by like Layla, basically. And realizing how much danger she is in, and technically the whole party's in, but how that Aphmau's wanted him, his extreme attachment to Aphmau. You know, I assume the whole situation of being kidnapped by crabs, and like them being like, you know, potentially really weird towards her, and potentially, I don't know. I mean, I know they're calling her a goddess, but you know, sometimes people treat gods differently in certain and just in cultures. Sometimes it's like you're a god.
Yeah, that's another thing. You know, there's a whole like the very like long-standing issue with that trope in media.
Yeah. Okay. You know? No, that I will agree is definitely a problem. But like, but definitely his concern for Aphmau because they took her off to who knows where, and they may potentially do who knows what to her or for her because she's a quote unquote goddess. You know,
which you know does suggest that, you know, I mean, I will say, I'll compare this to Return of the Jedi for a second here, because they very quickly, I'm pretty sure it was Han Solo who said, like, you know, to C-3PO once he understood that they thought the C-3PO was a god. Yeah, the Ewoks, this is. You know, that he immediately goes, well, tell them to release us. It's like, no, it's against my programming to impersonate a deity. They gave an in-universe reason why he couldn't act in that moment based on some sort of code. What's Aphmau's excuse?
Yeah, I don't... Honestly, part of me wonders if Aphmau is, like, trusting Zane to fix the situation based off, like, that one line she had at the end of that scene being like, should I have untied him? I was like, nah, I think Zane's got this, or something like that. I think she's putting her trust in Zane because this is his family, and she, you know, and she's like, I'm sure he got this.
Yes, because defying your family is never more difficult for the person actively involved. I mean, I guess Aphmau is the one person who's successfully done that because of the whole sea crystal thing, but still.
Yeah, but her family isn't awful as well. To be fair, she's the one person who has not experienced any awfulness from her family.
No, no bad memories. I'm kidding.
Although Aaron's family did die, so...
I guess he never got the chance to experience that. That's a whole other matter.
He was like 10 when they like burned in a fire, or at least his mom burned. His dad may have been dead or deadbeat dad. I don't know what happened to his dad. On this world, and something happened.
Or maybe you know, Captain Stone or whatever survived the explosion because he's super strong, and it turns out he didn't kill his father. He is his father. There's another Star Wars reference. I'm kidding about that.
Actually, oh god, now I kind of I know it's cliche, but I think that would actually be kind of cool. It's so dumb though to think. Hey, I like something cliche sometimes. Hey, it would be. Hey, listen, parentage of Aaron. Okay, we don't know who his dad, therefore anyone could be his dad.
I guess anyone who was, you know, around at the time or was significantly old enough. Yeah, I suppose. Anyway.
It's a possibility, but
yeah,
I don't know.
All right. Well, you know what? I guess they might come back to that later. You never know. But ultimately, just to go back to Aaron as well, because I didn't finish, you know, the whole like the idea of like him versus Zane, because I guess like his like, you know, anger obviously he was still like channeling that to some extent afterwards, and I guess Zane, who he already seemed to be angry at from before, you know, yelling at him like, what are you doing, when he's trying to protect Aphmau, maybe that was another reason why he'd be, you know, like at least like annoyed at him, but annoyed to the point where he says finally, like they've been gearing up towards this big battle between them for ages at this point, and he seems so intent at charging at him. I guess I will say, charitably speaking, it could be a ruse to appease the king and surprise him in the last moment. They could be doing a thing where it's like, you know, I've defeated you. All right, 3, 2, 1, slice, or something like that in the next episode. That could still happen.
And
if that's the case, I will take back the complaint. Yeah, if that's the case, I'll take back the complaint.
That's my theory where it's going, because I don't think Aaron's actually willing to like kill Zane or fight Zane in a serious capacity, especially his reaction to after he fought Zane when he was mind controlled a few episodes ago. Like, he felt bad about that. So I highly doubt, even if he did get mildly angry at Zane, I don't think he would be angry enough to actually be able to hurt him or like hurt, you know, even kill him. Even if he was mildly upset and like potentially gets extremely worried about Aphmau.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this whole thing feels out of character. You know, like the audience is supposed to like interpret that Aaron is definitely very mad at Zane for whatever reason, and this is like, you know, some sort of like thing behind that. But that might have been just, you know, to you know, aid in the deceit for next episode. And again, if that's what happens, I'll take back the complaint. But for now, it does seem like this is an episode where Lumi has the active chance to do a bunch of stuff and does nothing. Zane has a chance to do something, but he delays action. You know, I mean, like the part of his room is one thing because he's already like being affected by his family. So be it. But other than that, really seemed like he's not taking initiative either. Aphmau heard the whole goddess thing quite plainly and doesn't think for a second to take advantage of that. And Aaron seems to be lashing out at the moment for seemingly no reason. Edwin is the, you know, the shining star at this point, but he obviously doesn't get a chance to do much anyway. But he mostly, you know, either trusts the process or is, you know, having a bit of his geek out moment. He's fine, but for the most, like the main cast, they all take a nosedive in this episode, as does the story. So yeah, I definitely agree. This one is by far the weakest out of all of them so far.
I mean, I definitely would say it's the weakest episode, but like I wouldn't say it's that bad, or at least the characters are that out of thing. Like I don't know, because like I don't even think like Aphmau is the kind of person to be like, oh yes, I'm a goddess, because this is a version of Aphmau that's kind of dumb. And, like, I don't know if Aphmau would be the kind of person to take advantage of the situation or know what to do. Maybe if this was my street Aphmau, she would somewhat know what to do in a situation. But this is, like, Mermaid Tales Aphmau. Mermaid Tales Aphmau has never been called a goddess or been put in this situation before. Where she's in potential danger, but she also has a potential way out if she can manipulate it properly. She's a very forward person. She's a very, when she's not lying to people, obviously, like she lied to everyone in the first episode, or like hid that she's a mermaid, but she didn't like lie.
So she's capable of, you know, of lying when she needs to, and take initiative when she feels it's necessary. She just didn't this episode.
I don't know. I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I don't really think that's in this version of Aphmau's character to be like, yes, I am a goddess. You will free all them. Because as much as they are calling her a goddess, I don't even know if they would like free her friends if she commanded them. Because keep in mind, they also hate humans. Like they hate humans based off the whole murdering their kind and their clan. So that's I
feel like you underestimate the religious hypocrisy of certain societies and cultures.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Arte is too thick-headed about humans to be like, no. Don't. Even though the goddess says that we shouldn't do that because
is it humans okay? Well, in that case, is it not at least worth an attempt?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like, I don't really think that's an Aphmau's character to do it. And Zane isn't really known for standing up for his parents in most media anyways, so I feel like Zane not really standing up to them, like...
No, Zane's whole thing, I understand, that I get that from, like, directly confronting his family. My issue with him, like, earlier was, the fact that he, like, delayed even following along to see what was going on, to see if he had to intervene. It feels like if it comes down to it, much like Aphmau's placing her trust in Zane, if it comes down to it, I'm sure he's going to have like a moment in the future where he's going to have to make a pivotal decision to, go against that, and Aphmau trusts that's going to happen. She just happened to put a little bit too much faith in that happening sooner than it was going to.
Yeah.
Also, way to call me out, Ghost Kitty. Don't think I didn't see that. Anyway.
although I do wonder though, based off how each like kind of like mini arc or like settings. Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's just I don't know.
That's what I'm saying as well. Yeah, I get that.
I just don't think this episode is as bad as you guys think it is. Is it not as good as it could be? Yes. Does it have its issues? Yeah, but I don't think it's as bad. Because as bad as you guys are making out to be, in my opinion. And that's what I'm trying to get at.
I guess it's just the reverse of our alternates reviews.
Wow. See, and I don't know. And again, this is why I also get really confused in alternates reviews, because you have so much smoke for an episode like this, and then the alternates comes along and it does so much stuff wrong, and yet you have like no smoke for that show. I'm like, really? No smoke for that show at all.
I also had no expectations. As you yourself pointed out, your beef with alternates comes from expectations of what Aphmau was able to offer. Here is a series that has actively demonstrated that to us on multiple occasions for most episodes of its runtime, and has neglected to do so here. That feels much more egregious to me than a series that was already kind of dead on arrival, metaphorically and literally.
I mean, I guess, but I still don't necessarily think that means stuff like the alternates doesn't deserve any smoke or.
I'm not saying I deserve any smoke. Again, people can go back and check. I've been critical of the show as well. It's just I don't have the same vitriol to it that you clearly do. That's the difference. I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying it even remotely compares to even this episode. But this episode has the other ones in its series to compare itself to, and that's where it falls flat.
Yeah, I do really like the idea of exploring Zane's family though. That's one of the aspects of the episode I really do like. Also, we may get Vlad next episode, because Vlad was technically made a cameo this episode, or was like mentioned by name.
It does seem strange to not eventually use him more. I can tell time for this episode. Also, from behind the scenes, you have to pay the voice actor if he doesn't speak in the first one. But I understand like building up to him, even aside from that little detail.
Next episode, we're going to actually get to meet Vlad, or at least briefly.
Yeah.
I do wonder, based off how the show goes again with the mini arcs. It feels like each mini arc, starting with the Lumi one, the Lumi Island arc. We had Lumi introduced, and the next arc we had Edwin introduced. Are we going to get a second crab added to the party for this? Like, are we going to get like Vlad Crab a part of the group or something for next episode? Or is that like going to become like a thing?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure like that would happen specifically. I will say we've compared the show to One Piece a lot, and in the early days of One Piece, they collected a bunch more people. Like, yeah, they collect some people like later on down the line, but compared to that, I mean, it's the case for like a lot of shows. Pokemon, obviously, the companions you meet very early on, and like everyone else that you get in like an episodic episode that is kind of abandoned for the most part, with a few exceptions here and there. Sometimes temporary ones, but for the most part, that's how things go. So yeah, presuming that we are still in the early days of the series, and it's not just ended up being like a 15 thing now. Then yeah, we could we could end up with like another companion coming sometime soon. Whether or not that's Vlad is up, we will find out.
I think of, unless the whole crab.
Well, yeah, at the moment they could wait a different arc and have like somebody else come in. I'm just saying that whether or not that happens to be Vlad, it happens to be the next one. If there is any at all, remains to be seen. But it could feasibly happen if it is still early days.
I'm just bringing that up because the past two like arcs we had both like this past 2 arcs we had introduced a new companion essentially.
Yeah, again, very One Piece of them to do so. Yes.
So it's just one of those things where I'm like, is like each mini arc they go through just gonna grow Aaron's pirate crew by introducing one new magical or I guess a scientific person to the crew. Each arc being like, we have next have Lad Crab, then we have I don't know who else. I would love Lawrence join the crew, but Lawrence kind of has his own ship and his own stuff going on, so.
Honestly, you know what? We should have done that for our pirate crew. Actually, I know that we had like a bunch of people for like the one shot, but yeah, we put that if we started with like a pirate series, we would that would have been the ideal method, I guess. Like it just people like one by one. But anyway, that's a whole other matter.
Do we like start with a pirate crew of 2, and then we just expand on each episode?
Each 2 or 3 depends. They started with 3 Mermaid Tales, didn't they?
Yeah. The issue with that with being a live D&D show is like then the more people you have, the more schedules you have to like.
Which is my exact concern. When we recruited a bunch of other people, and that was promptly ignored.
Nah, hey, it's great. Hey, sometimes we have schedule issues, but honestly, I think things are going fine.
Yeah, things are going fine for the most part, give or take. I just didn't want to rock the boat. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I have nothing against error. I was just concerned about, you know, with like from a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
And more so now that we have, you know, Roy and Orochi and working around Ari's schedule for temporary reasons.
To be fair as well, we kind of end up losing Lou as like a main player at this around at a certain point, you know, the whole Lou being kidnapped. So I mean, it still worked out.
Which didn't end up, you know, for the most part. We also needed to Gosu to be there for the threat of Lou in the first place to still be present.
Yeah, but also,
you know, we need that sweet William Zanna comparison.
But also with the D&D thing as well, like we also did end up losing Scooby. So if we never added Error, we just would have had Orchid solo episodes pretty much for like 2 to 3 Orchid solo episodes, which that'd be a very weird concept. Of Orchid
I feel like we would have probably just like they just had one shots until we could get Scooby back.
Yeah, I'm like because like Orchid solo
in all likelihood.
Because I feel like we need at least 2 people or two interesting player characters to like work.
Yeah, like I will say 1-person D&D is very much a thing, just not usually something that's covered in live plays.
It's not normally that interesting. I don't know. I find 1-person D&D not be very interesting. That's my opinion.
Actually, yes, we did do that. Well, not. I mean, yeah, sort of pirate
it's
adjacent.
On this channel.
It featured pirates. Yes, the only thing I've DM'd to this day.
Yeah, which I want you to DM a one-shot. If we have to do a one-shot anytime soon, I think you should DM it. It'll be fun.
Well, we'll see, because, you know, again, you know, it would depend. Who knows? Maybe it'll be something to do with the pirates. Actually, wait, no, I'm the captain. That wouldn't work. Forget that idea. It'll be something else. We'll workshop some stuff in the new year.
The captain gets sick, and it's up to the rest of the crew to something. They have to do event or without the captain there.
Maybe to find some way to cure his affliction. I don't know.
Granted, I would also have to. I don't know what I would do with that. I would just be around. I would just play NPCs at that point. I'm like, what would I be? I'm not in part of the cart crew. I did.
Or maybe I hand off the captain to you and see what you do with that character.
I don't know. I don't know the pirate captain good enough for that to work though, because we haven't had much.
He has appeared in 1 episode. I feel like it's not. It's early days, so it's fine.
It's fine. I won't lose.
Besides, you already dictated the start of Fred's journey. It's not like you haven't ever cited a character from me.
Listen, Fred is awesome in Oculta. Okay, I love her backstory. Her backstory is so cool in Oculta. She was part of a brothel.
Yeah, like we've worked it out now. It's just that at the time, it very much was like, oh no. I mean, when I knew that it was like that, you know, the place was, you know, featured cat girls, I was like, okay, I'm worried this might happen, but I'm going to reserve judgment because, you know, there's a chance we might have because at that time we hadn't brought back any characters from the old campaign yet, so
we haven't brought back anyone.
There was no precedent at the but there is now, and oh boy, but yeah, anyway, it worked out.
Yeah. And now Fred
Pull a
has
cat girls one shot. We did that too. That's also on this channel. That was the first time I played Fred. Was in Cat Girl Islands.
Now Fred has a girlfriend who's emo and loves corpses.
Yes, who is not in Cat Girl Islands, but yeah.
She's not a cat girl. She's an elf girl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the entire party weren't all cat girls in that one. much to our chagrin, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried to murder Finn with the death pills. The death pills. Listen, I don't know why. Now I want to bring back death pills into Occulta now. I'll think about that later, though. I'll think about how I want to do that later. But death pills.
The implications of those existing.
Listen, maybe they're like a pill from like Sarah. I mean, Sarah's like blood, war, you know. Maybe they're like a Sarah thing. I don't know.
There's not much blood or war involved in, essentially poisoning.
Well, it's not even poisoning, it's just instant death. It's like that one Rick and Morty thing where it's like, what kind of death was that? Instant. It's like, but he just died. It's like, yeah, instant death.
Okay, all right. We're going off on a much larger tangent right now. I thought we've covered our thoughts of this episode. We've got, well, I mean, Aidan in particular has other Aphmau stuff to tend to after this, so I'm not going to detract from that any longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, to everyone else, please either like or dislike, because your opinion matters.
Subscribe if you already. Leave a like or dislike. Yes. Bye.
And on that note, until next time, farewell. One day you'll get it. One day.